What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this beautiful Ford Sierra Cosworth. Absolutely love this. Steering wheel is on the wrong side. Just saying. Just saying. For me, it's on the wrong side. Let's have a look at this. This is officially the Merkur, but it is the Ford RS500. I'm calling it the Ford Sierra Cosworth because that is what it is. It looks insane. We got this one from the auction house. It's got a lot of kilometers on there. Literally done a lot of miles, but it is an old car, 1989, only 1 year older than me. Did we get a good deal? No, obviously not. It's me. 5,766 is what we paid for the car, and we could sell it for 4,630, losing out on 1,136. Not that we're going to do that anyway, but it's nice to know. This one comes with the i4 double overhead cam TAE engine, and I'm still undecided on whether we should swap it or keep it as the original. I will make a decision a little bit later on. I haven't fully decided yet. 144 base horsepower on this engine. Might be different if we change it, but I'm not sure if we're going to. This one looks absolutely awesome. It does say it's a left-hand drive conversion. It was imported into Merkur, but it looks absolutely awesome. Another great mod by Payne. Let's get stuck into this one. Let's get it over to the car wash, and let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then, in the car wash. Let's get this clean and see what colour it is meant to be underneath all of that dust. On you go. Let's have, is that a red? That looks red under there, maybe? Is it? But no, it's black. It was rust. I was literally looking at the colour of the rust. That is in a terrible shape. Probably nothing's going to be repairable from that, but we'll get the interior done. We'll get it back on the lift, and we'll start tearing everything down. First things first, let's check for that oil pan. Where are you? The oil pan is there, so that needs to be drained. Let's get you going. Out you come. Very dirty, very dark, but not a lot of it, so it doesn't take too long. Let's get underneath. Let's get this gearbox out. The drive shaft is missing, so I do need to remember to make sure, yeah. So I do need to remember to buy that one, but the starter is in there. So let's get you out. First rusty bolt of this one. There we go, and let's get you ripped out of here as well. Nice and easy, and I'm pretty sure we have to take this part out. Hopefully not that part or anything else. Awesome, and let's go and lift that out and see if we did get everything. Down you go. Go and grab the crane, get it moved over. Lift you up. Not bad looking engine. We'll take a quick look at that engine because I didn't look at it before. Is there anything missing? Obviously, that exhaust we've just taken out. Gearbox, that looks-ish to be all there. I'm not 100%, so it is what it is. But let's see if I got everything. I did. Fantastic. Over you go. Let's get you put away. Let's see what else we've got in this engine bay. So we know there's an air filter right there. Words. Not happening. Then we've got the coolant reservoir. We've got a battery, a fuse box just back here. Let's take the cover off. That is inside the dashboard, so you shouldn't be able to see it from the engine bay there. Round we go. We've got a brake servo, and we've got the wishy-washy reservoir as well. Anything down the back? Can I even get there? Let's go and have a look. Just the fuel tank by the looks of it. Should we see if there's anything missing? No, rubber bushings, but then we'll come to that later. Get the fuel pump out now while it's easy to reach. Back up the front we go. Let's get these liquids drained out then. So we've got liquids here, here, and here. Nice and simple. I think that's everything. So right click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold, and I'll be back in just a second. That's everything drained out, looking awesome. Let's just double check if there's anything missing up here. I didn't think there was, but it's always good to check. That means that doesn't have the fan housing kit to go with it. We do also have a medium intercooler down here as well. So let's get all of this ripped out. Obviously not the intercooler, that's for underneath in a moment. Out you come, out you come. We'll get that brake servo out, and then this lovely air filter. Out you come. We'll just get you out, and then we'll check on the suspension, see what we've got, see what's missing. Hopefully not a lot, if anything. Obviously we already know there's a couple of bushings missing, but it's not the end of the world. Down we go. Let's get this front wheel off and see what's going on under here. Out you come. There we go. What have we got? So a lower wishbone. With a single shock there. Got the sway bar end link is in, and we've got the inner and outer tie rod, plus the hubcap and a bearing. Both bushings on this side. Let's check out the other side. Both bushings again, inner and outer tie rod, end link, and the hubcap and bearing. Front suspension, all looking complete. Pretty sweet on there. Let's jump down the back and see what we've got going on down here. Out you come. I can already see it's the one with all of the parts. Good one for painting and not a bad one for stripping. Let's see what we've got here then. We already know that there is 2 bushings missing here and here. Not too bad. Then what have we got? So the sway bar end link is in. All the spring setup is there. The shock's there. This is looking pretty complete. Obviously the wheels are on, and that is normally a good sign. There is another bushing missing there. And that looks to be about it, which is pretty sweet in all honesty. I like it when they're all together. This is going to look hopefully good if I can pick some colours to paint with it. Let's move on up here. I'm going to get everything here stripped out, strip down the engine, and I'll be back in a minute, and we will work on the beautiful bodywork. Very quickly, just before we move on, if you've seen this video, you would know it did make it onto the speeder board, which I have now updated 7th place from the Ford Mustang RTR E Experimental, which is the electric 3016 horsepower with a top speed of 546 kilometers an hour, or a reached speed, not a top speed, 339 miles per hour. Exactly the same as the Ford Mustang GTG, which was 3-starred. All the I can't remember if it was everything or just the performance parts, but at least the performance parts were all 3-star. So the same speed as that. Nothing on this was 3-star. I love this car. I'm pretty confident most of you aren't a big fan of that brightly coloured engine and suspension system, but we may change it. That's the whole point of this one, of being experimental. It's always going to be changing. So maybe we will change that. But back onto this beautiful Ford Sierra. I have got everything repaired, replaced, and upgraded. And I am going to keep the engine that is in it, which is the TAE engine, as you can see it up there. I don't think I've worked on one of these before, so it'll be fun to see what we can do with it. But let's crack on with this bodywork. We need to get all of this stripped off. So let's just crack on and see where we end up. What have we got? I don't know what's what. Not a lot around there. I know that needs to come out, though. Around here, is that a piece? No. Any of that? No. Okay, moving on. We've got the rear lights, so that's a good sign. Any more around here? No, that's the wheel, window gap. Out with the door. And, yeah, I think that might be everything. There is a steering wheel in there, so we do need to get that out. But no back seats there built into the bodywork. So out with the steering wheel and no front seats in. Let's check if we have got everything. That's not the right screen. 1%, that is a good sign. And that is everything. Fantastic. Let's go and grab the welder. Over you come. Let's have a look. See, I paid $5,766 for this. It is in terrible condition. I'm going to say 1,500. 500. I'm still pretty bad at this. I get one right every now and then. Let's go and check out what we can get for this beautiful little car here then. So there are a few different options. We've got some wide. Oh, I might have to change this one up and go completely wide body. I think that's going to look pretty cool. We're going to be sticking with a lot of these RS500 parts because I quite like it. We won't be going for that Merkur part there. This has got the Ford badge on it. So that's the front end we'll be going for. But I think I'm going to make this a wide body beast. Yes, I think that's going to be what happens. Got a couple of door options on there with the trim, without the trim. That's always nice because I'm not a big fan of plastic trim. Sunroof and sunroof open, so we can sort that out later on. Ours does have the sunroof. What else have we got? Wide body, tinted lights, different headlights. They're quite cool. Probably be going with them. Why is that window split? I don't really know. We'll come to that later on. What have we got? Rear bumpers. Oh, just the one rear bumper on that, but we do have rear clamshells with the double spoiler. We'll definitely be going with one of them. I'm not sure which yet. Obviously, them wide body fenders, if I can get them on there, hopefully. More windows, couple of trunks. We'll be going for that one there. And then the rest of the lights and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. Let's get this bit away. I'm going to get some bits repaired. Obviously, I have to buy a lot because a lot was missing. So I'll see you back here in a minute when we get this one all back together. That's all of that taken care of. Time to get this all back together. Looking pretty sweet. And I know I said I was going to go for the wide body kit, but for reasons I will show you, I cannot. So just very quickly, I have already mentioned this to Payne as well. The front fender on the left side looks awesome. There is no piece of trim just there. If I come back around, go to the right side, sadly, there is a piece of trim just there, which means they don't match, sadly. So I will not be going with them. I have already let Payne know. Hopefully that should get fixed soon. But anyway, let's crack on with this build. So I've just kept everything on this as the RS500. There we go. As it should have been realistically anyway. It still looks pretty sweet. Down we go onto that front bumper. It's still quite a cool front bumper there. In with the lights. I did go for the B lights because I just think they look cool. They've got that ring light in there. Looking pretty sweet. The windshield in with the door. We have kept that strip. on there because it fits with that fender, and also this rear fender because it's either this one or the wide body. And as I couldn't do the wide body, I thought we'll keep it as it was. Anyway, back on we go. More of you, in you go. On with that window, in with that mirror. We'll go around. Oh, there, can't forget that piece there. Nearly forgot it. And then obviously you've got the fuel door as well. I did keep that as the RS500. Now, I'll just put this window in and I'll go around to the other side and show you this window. I'll just get these done. So there are two different types of windows for the two body styles. I don't know what they are, but this one here, as you can see, has got a big gap in the middle. So it does not fit this build at all. So don't use that one. Use the regular plain one, well, the RS500 one, as it says there. Looking pretty sweet. Just the one rear bumper, so not too many options on there. And I did also go for them tinted B lights because they look pretty cool. In with the trunk, the RS500, obviously. Get that window in. Get the rear clamshell on you go. There you go. A big double wang on there. Now, there is one piece left that you can just about get from here. I don't know where else you can get it from. You can take the door off and reach it just about through the window gap, but the sunroof is quite a hard one to pin on. But there we go. Part B, looking awesome with the sunroof open so you can see out the roof of the car. Looking pretty sweet. I think that's everything apart from the plates, so we'll just get them on. I've just gone for my VM plates with the Cosy 1 because it's a Sierra Cosworth. I very nearly said a naughty word then. I don't know why. That's not like me at all. That's looking pretty sweet. Let's get some interior in. Now, it is a very light interior, but I cannot resist but to go for my Nismo bucket seat. So in they go, just because they look awesome. And then the steering wheel I've gone for today is steering wheel 8 because it just looks modded and a bit performance-y. On we go. That is looking pretty sweet. Let's check if we've got everything. 100%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely fantastic. Let's head over to the paint shop and see what we can do with this one today. Unfortunately, this one doesn't come with any liveries, but there is a template in the folder of the mods for you to go and make your own. I haven't made my own today. I am running very, very late. I'm so far behind today. It is unbelievable. I haven't had a chance to make one. So what are we going to go with? What color are we thinking? Let's just go to the color wheel and have a play around for a moment. I am thinking a bit of a dark blue. Actually, what are the factory? So we've got a light sort of metallic-y blue. I have seen many Ford Sierras in that color. We could go for a plain gloss black or a plain white. Oh, the white does actually look pretty good. Maybe we go with the white. What do we reckon? Actually, yeah, I do think I'm going to go for that white. I'm going to go for that white, and then I think I'm going to go for a black and a gold suspension in there, maybe with the odd splash of white in. Let's just get it on. Let's get that engine bay open and see what that looks like on there. On you go. Let's have a gander. Up you come. Thank you. It is very white in there, but with a few splashes of black. So I think a black-ish engine with maybe a few splashes of gold. There will be a little bit of red on there from the performance part, so maybe we could splash a tiny bit more of that on there as well. But I'm thinking black and gold underneath for the engine and for the underside. I think black and gold is going to look pretty cool. I think that's what we're going to go for. I like in the white. It does look pretty good. So, yep, decision is made. I need to get all the engine and suspension parts painted, and we're going to have this one white on the body, black and gold in the engine and underneath. So I will see you back on the lifter in a few minutes when we will start reassembling all the suspension once I've got it all painted up. I think that's everything painted, ready to go back on the Cosy. Let's get the suspension back together. In we go. Black shocks, gold springs. Pretty dark, but looking pretty sweet. Black and gold is just a good color combination. Let's get the other one together as well. On we go. Yeah, they are looking sweet. Cannot wait to see this on the car. Let's get you on. Let's get you in. So for the front suspension crossmember being a very white engine bay, I did just go for a black on this one. I think it looks pretty good. And obviously through the top, you'll theoretically should be able to see the black down the bottom. Looking pretty awesome. We'll just get this medium intercooler in while we're here, because otherwise I will forget. Lower suspension arm is in that gold color. I think it is looking pretty sweet. On you go. Looking awesome. And it should match them shocks pretty well. There you go. Just at the top there. You can just about see them. Yeah, they're pretty much the same color. Quite pleased with that. On with the sway bar end link again, because I will forget if I don't do it now. Then we got the hubcap in the gold, just for good measure, for a splash more of that color. And sadly, the brake calipers wouldn't take gold at all. They just look like a brown poo yellow. So we just left them in black. They're looking pretty cool, though. Nice colors. I do like black and gold. It works really well. So the rear suspension cross member is a mixed. It is that black to keep it the same as the front piece there. Let's just get these rubber bushings in. On you go, in you go. And on with that sway bar as well. And then the sway bar link. There we go. In you go and bolt you up. Now, the front shock, or the front shocks, the rear shocks are in black because the black parts, that's the same as the front shock there. Looking pretty sweet. We'll get this back arm around here in. On you go. This one's in gold. Looking awesome. Very pleased with that. And then the spring cap is in black to match the front with the springs, obviously back in that gold. Looking pretty cool. Quite pleased with them. Let's get the drive axle in, just so I don't forget it again. And there we go. The upper suspension arm is also in the gold. In fact, I'm just going to say it now. All of these rear arms are in gold. And I'm just hoping they look awesome when we get them all on. On you go. In you go. And then the side arm just here. In you go. A lot of gold there, but that is looking pretty good. It's not too in your face. And I quite like that. The last one I did, obviously, was very in your face. That's not too bad at all. Brake caliper, again, just in the black because it wouldn't accept gold. Looking pretty good, though. Black and gold is always a good combination. Very easy to work with. Let's get around here and get this fuel tank in. On you go. And in with that fuel pump. And we'll get the exhaust in if I could find the main part. Where is it? Come to Papa. Where are you? There you go. Main exhaust part. We'll get you in and we'll get you in. I'll get the rest of this suspension all finished up. Then we'll move on to the engine bay. We will check out the suspension before we jump into that. See it all complete. Hopefully, it's going to look awesome. Black and gold. It just always looks so good. I think the suspension looks incredible. Gold elements, mostly black, just with a splash of gold, making it really stand out, really pop. Hopefully the engine will come out just as good. But let's jump up and let's get this engine bay sorted. In with the radiator, in with the wishy-washy reservoir, the brake servo, the battery that I did remember to pick up, the coolant reservoir, in you go. What else have we got here? The fuse box base. Now this just is in black. I did paint it just to make it so it was the same color black. You won't be able to see it anywhere. It looked a bit yellow in the gold coloring rather than gold, which is a bit of a shame, but it still looks awesome. I'll finish all of that in a bit. But air filter, we have got that in black, but it is going to hopefully pop a little bit with some gold clips. I don't even know if you can see them. We'll get them on from here because obviously we can see them. And then we'll check it out. Oh, that's going to be a tight squeeze there. And the one on the other side, just about nice. Can get it there. So that's all them clips on. Let's just take a step away and see if you can see them. Well, you can't really see the front ones there, but the back ones are just about sort of visible. Let's just go photo mode real quick, just so we can zoom in on you. Wrong way. There you go. Yeah, they're all hidden in the coolant piece, which is a bit of a shame. So it just looks black, but hopefully there will be enough gold on the top of this engine to make it really pop. So I need to jump back in here because I need to get this fuse box finished. Next up, we're going to go and build the awesome TAE engine. And the reason I say awesome is because to me, TAE stands for Totally Awesome Engine. Here we are then with the Totally Awesome Engine, completely in a gloss black there, the block and the oil pan. Looking pretty sweet. Let's start getting some of these pieces on. I'm going to start with the oil filter because it is painted gold, but it's only the rim that's gold. The rest of it came out green, which was a bit random, but I quite liked it. So we kept it on there just with the first piece of gold on the rim. Now, sadly, this water pump cannot be painted, but it just sits there in a relatively chrome color, almost matching the alternator. Not quite as bright, though, sadly. Then we got the power steering pump. I didn't paint that one. I left it in the chrome to sort of match them three together with the chrome at top end. Let's just get the water pump fully on. I think that's all we can do there for now. We will throw that fuel filter on, though. So the engine head, I have done that one in a black, as you can see there, but it is only the inside and a few little parts on the outside that have gone black. So there is a splash more of that chrome there, just for good measure. There is a couple of other chrome pieces that go on this engine to look awesome, but there is some gold to go on. So let's go with the ignition distributor. We'll throw that piece in. This piece can't be painted. Well, it does show up in the paint shop, but it doesn't accept paint. Don't know why. Looking pretty sweet, though. Sticking with that chrome element. Then we got the cap. I've done the cap in a black there because it looks cool. And then the clips in a gold color. Hopefully looking pretty awesome. Let's just try and zoom into this one a little bit more to have a look. There you go. Pretty sweet. Not the same gold as that. Very close, but not quite. I wouldn't spend forever trying to match them up. In with the exhaust manifold, on you go, looking pretty awesome. And I will throw this intake manifold on now because it's not painted. I've just left it in its performance parts chrome there. I think it looks pretty awesome. This does show up in the paint shop and does accept paint really well. Did look good in gold, but then I didn't know what to do with this throttle. So I wanted it gold, so we've left that piece in the chrome. Plus you got the chrome of the rest of the engine as well showing up there that still looks pretty awesome. Right, now onto the camshafts. Well, we've got spark plugs, obviously. Got to get all of them in. We've got camshaft A on one side and camshaft B on the other side. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to crack on now. I'm going to get all these camshaft caps in, all the spark plugs in, and I'll see you before we crack on to the top end. There you go. That's all the camshaft stuff in, all the spark plugs in there. Let's move around to the front, though. We've got a lovely timing cover on here. Plastic parts. Only took the black, but at least they are paintable and they go black and don't stay in that horrible grey that I really don't like. On with the cam gears, on you go, and then we should have a belt. There we go, in you go, and a roller. There she is. On you go, and then some more covers. These are all just in black because they are all plastic parts and they don't take colour overly well. But the black goes on them really nicely, and as we're doing a black and gold build, it fits. Crankshaft pulley, in you go. Nicely done. And then we should have two more belts, I think. 1, 2, and then a giant fan. Now, I did try and do this fan in gold, but because it's mostly plastic, only that centerpiece there went gold, and this was all a bright yellow. I didn't like it, so we just left it in the black. But it still fits. It looks pretty sweet. That's pretty much all the front. Well, that is all the front done. Let's go down the back. Have we got everything there? Yeah, so on to the head covers. Head covers are in gold. I mean, you were pretty much expecting that, I believe, anyway. So let's get you all bolted down. Looking pretty awesome. I'm very pleased with them. It isn't quite the same as the gold on the throttle piece here, but that's because this is a smooth piece and this is a bit of a rough piece. You can see the difference in the material on there. That's what happens sometimes. Fuel rail, in you go. You are also in gold. You are closer matched to the throttle than you are the heads. Again, bit of a smooth piece, but not quite as smooth as the throttle there. Spark plug cover, in you go, just in the black, just to separate them two up a little bit, and it looks pretty sweet. In you go. And then the last piece is the ignition wires. Now, these shouldn't really be gold because gold cabling just doesn't work, but they are in gold, and I'm classing it as they've been gold leaf wrapped because, well, you could do that in real life, and it would look pretty awesome. There she is then, the totally awesome engine in a black, chrome, and gold. I think it looks pretty sweet. I'm going to grab some pictures, and we're going to get it dropped in this Sierra Cosworth. That's all the pictures done. Now let's get this one dropped in and see how good it looks in that white Cosy. Off the stand you come. Over we go. Let's have a look. I cannot wait to see this. I'm hoping it's going to look awesome, but I don't know how black and gold is going to look on white. Let's find out. Let's get this crane put away. That's not looking bad. That's looking pretty sweet, actually. I take it back. That is looking awesome. Maybe I should have done this piece in the black, but it sort of matches with the rest of the chrome going on. I'm quite pleased with that. I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments below. But let's get underneath. We need to get the gearbox in, the drive shaft, and the starter in before we get this one all finished off, ready to go outside. Under we go. That was way too far back, but that's what it does. Front exhaust section, in you go, just because we can finish that piece off now. Gearbox in the black to match with that engine block. And black's easy to work with because it pretty much almost always matches. And we got the starter in a gold, just for good measure, looking pretty sweet on there. And then, did I remember to buy the drive shaft? Yes, I did. Thank God for that. I actually couldn't remember for a moment there. So get this one all buttoned up and get the liquids all topped up. Get some lovely wheels done. I've already got something in mind for these, and then we'll be outside in the sun. Here we are then, all finished with Payne's beautiful Ford Sierra Cosworth, or Merkur, whatever it's called. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. To me, it's a Ford Sierra Cosworth, or Ford Sierra. This is a Cosworth variation, but sweet. I love it nonetheless. It looks absolutely awesome. I'm very pleased with how this has turned out. Quite basic, quite plain on the outside, just with some bright gold rims, just for some good measure. Well, they are two-tone gold into black there, but looking pretty sweet. Under the hood there, you've got a beautiful black chrome and gold engine. Looking sweet with the gold and black suspension going on underneath there. Very color coordinated, the suspension and engine on this one. Looking absolutely incredible. I think it looks fantastic, in my opinion. It really does. I love this car. Let's get on. Let's go around. Let's talk about these rims then. Now, these are bigger than what come on it. I've gone with the rims at 9A, so I can do black inserts with the gold outserts. Absolutely love a good old two-tone rim. Everyone that watches this channel knows that by now. The front rims here, these are a 19 inches, what I've gone for, with a 235 width and a 30 profile on there. I think they're looking pretty good. At the back, they're a little bit wider, but the same size. They are still 19 inches, but these ones are a 255 width with a 30 profile. No ET needed anywhere. Obviously, if you threw the wide body kit on this one, you would need some ET on there. But it is looking a pretty sweet. Very pleased with this. So well done, Payne. Link in the description below to go and grab this one yourself. Or you could just head over to Steam and search for Merkur. That will definitely find it. I don't know if searching for Ford Sierra would. Let's jump inside and check out this interior. What have we got on here? A nice proper retro dashboard looking awesome. Not too bad. A little bit of the exhaust sticking up through there, but it is not an issue at all. Looking pretty sweet, but let's get this little TAE engine started and see what she sounds like. That sounds incredibly spaceship-like. I wasn't quite prepared for that. Let's give it some gas. Still sounds pretty good at the top end. Quite happy with that. But let's get this one over to the dyno and see what power we've got today. Here we are then on the dyno with the Ford Sierra RS500, or Cosworth as I'm calling it. 144 factory horsepower on this one. We kept the TAE engine. Was it a good idea? We have hit performance parts. How much have we gained today? 73 horsepower. Yay! A gain of 50% power, bringing our total measured power up to 216 horsepower. I mean, I wasn't expecting something fantastic, but maybe a little bit better than that. Yeah, maybe that isn't a totally awesome engine. We shall see. Let's go and see what the gearbox tuning setup shows for today. I've gone for a 4.35 ratio. Given it all of first gear, 42 kilometers an hour in there, up to 271, registered apparently in 7th gear. But let's head over to the track and let's find out if that's the case. Here we are then on the speed track with a little Ford Sierra Cosworth. Maybe not such a Cosworth with 216 horsepower. I was expecting just a tad bit more from this one, but it looks absolutely stunning. Very pleased with how this one looks. Let's jump inside and see how fast we can get it down the track. Off we go. Eventually. Wow, that definitely, TAE definitely doesn't stand for totally awesome engine anymore. That is terrible acceleration off the line. I have made a terrible, terrible mistake with this one. I definitely should have swapped that engine out. What are we going to end up with today? Are we even going to make 200 kilometers an hour? Is this going to be the slowest car I've ever done on this channel? I certainly hope not. But let's find out. Let's keep pressing with what will be the longest speed run ever. On we go. Can we get to that 200 mark? Can we make it? Come on, little Sierra, you can do it. Come on. There's 200. I think our slowest was 220. So that's what I'm aiming for. Not that I think we're going to get there in any way, shape or form. Come on. 11, 12, 13, 13. 213 kilometers an hour. This is not worthy of the Cosworth badge. There you have it, 213 kilometers an hour from our Ford Sierra RS500. I'm not calling this one the Cosworth anymore because it's not worthy of that title. That was pretty bad, pretty dismal, but it's not last. It didn't come last. It's 144th in the speederboard out of 145 cars. So not quite last. In last place is the Land Rover Defender with a speed of 210 kilometers an hour. So it's about as close as you could get to it. So this TAE doesn't stand for totally awesome engine. It must stand for tragically awful engine. There we go. TAE is tragically awful engine. Yeah, I won't be using that one again, I don't think. Although it doesn't paint too bad, so maybe if we can get an increase in power on that, it'll be pretty sweet. But this car, I'm just glad it looks good because it does look absolutely awesome, even if it doesn't go anywhere near as good as it looks, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Still a wonderful mod by Payne. Again, a link in the description below if you want to grab this one for yourself. Another thing that was announced today, very quickly, just while we're here, is the Drag DLC has finally been announced. as coming soon, and that normally means, and it's hit the Steam Workshop, just says coming soon on there. I wouldn't like to suggest that it'll be a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, but normally they don't go up until they're about ready to release. So it could be a couple of weeks. It might be up to a month. I'm not 100% sure, but it is coming, and I'm so glad about that. I cannot wait for the drag racing at DLC. But anyway, back onto this Ford Sierra. I've made terrible mistakes. I should have swapped that engine out for something better. I know I should have at the beginning, but there we go. Mistakes were made, lessons were learned, and that's why I do this, so that hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes. Moving on, I bought the car for 5,766. At the beginning, you would have seen that I lost out on 1,106 if I was to sell it there, and then we didn't. We added performance parts to that engine. Wasn't really worth it, but we did nonetheless. Made it look as cool as we could. That was definitely worth it because it does look absolutely awesome with that suspension in black and gold under there. Also, the engine looking sweet in that black, silver, or black chrome and gold as well. Very pleased with how it turned out looks-wise. Definitely thought this would be a little bit faster. But there we go. We have since spent another 48,953 modifying this car, getting it to what you see in front of you today. Was that a good idea? Our total spend is 54,719. Let's see if we can make a profit from this one. It is all finished, 245,000 kilometers on there. That engine has a tiny bit of improvement at around 50%, up to 216 horsepower. I was definitely hoping for more, but can we make a profit? Yes, not very much, but a profit is a profit. 62,732 we can sell this one for, making a profit of 8,013, and we are going to do that. I am definitely going to revisit this one at some point, hopefully with the wide body kit and hopefully with a considerably better engine, and it'll do a lot better on the speeder board. Off you go. I am disappointed. What a shame. My own fault. I should have swapped the engine. What have we got coming up next then? Let's jump inside and find out. This doesn't look like much from here, but this is the Suzuki. I can't even remember what this is called. The SX4. There we go. This is the Suzuki SX4. This is the lit edition, so it should look pretty awesome. And there's also a big hint to who modified this one in. Modified in by Lit. Only 80,400 kilometers on this one. Not bad at all. Not bad condition, apart from the body's pretty terrible, but I think that's mostly because the parts have been robbed from it. But it is what it is. We got it from the auction. Did we get a good deal? No, obviously not. 17,622. I way overpaid for this one. We can sell it for 13,851, losing out on 3,771 before we even start. What engine does this one have? This has the i4 double overhead cam, a 4x4 engine that we can't swap out, but it already has a 308 horsepower on it, so that's pretty good. This will be for next time. I'm looking forward to this little beast. Hopefully it is a 4x4. Don't forget to come and join us on Discord for the Discord competition. This car was part of the last one, although the last one is over now. We don't quite know the winner. They will be announced literally in a couple of hours' time. I am so far behind where I should be, but it is what it is. We move on and we carry on. Up next, we'll have a new vote for some more law cars, so we'll be looking at them next time. May even throw in a juicy little Aston Martin from the DLC. So come and join us for that. The link to the Discord is in the description below. Click on the competitions tab and see what's going on in there. And also pop in any of the other ones. Say hi, see what's going on. Lots of nice people on there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.